Keep that door closed. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Wiley Show. Now, finally, we have more details with this Dwight Howard situation. Now we got more details. The guy is not white, he is black. So, give y'all a little rundown. Dwight Howard is being sued by this guy you see on the screen here, and he's suing him for kidnapping and for the R word. He was forcibly fondled. It was so many things that Dwight Howard is being sued for. So I want to say welcome. And also, the guy is claiming that he connected with Dwight Howard in a text message. They were connecting in a text message. It's in court documents. We're going to read some of them text messages. And he said the victim is alleging that he didn't want to do a threesome with the trans woman. The trans woman came out with a wig and they was going to get intimate in the room. Now, finally, we have the text messages. If y'all remember last night, I said, if those text messages show what I think it shows, that's the reason why Dwight Howard came out of the closet, because there maybe be some damage in text messages. So let me go to the neighborhood talk because they actually post the text messages. And let us first get to see that. Hold on one second. They post the text messages. Okay. It said, this on the neighborhood talk. This is the headline. They said, text messages show Dwight Howard conversation with man who accused him of SA. I'm not gay. I'm just a little nasty. Thinking about that meat. I want it now. This on neighborhood talk. Okay, they're saying the messages were obtained by Radar Online, and these are the text messages. Okay. So hold on. Let me make sure I can go through this stuff. Okay. But here's the summary. Let me get to the summary. Here's the summary. Dwight got that says Stephen's number. Got Stephen's number. That's the guy you see on the screen here. That's the victim that is suing of Dwight Howard. He said he started talking freaky ASF. He asked for some DP pictures and see videos. It's very graphic, you guys. Dwight even said, quote, now Stephen was with the ish at first because he's freaky too. Dwight went on to say that he was thinking about that meet all before scheduling a meetup with Stephen where things went left. Dwight told Stephen he wanted the D now and even put his son to bed early so Stephen could come over. Oh my God. Stephen said when they finally linked to F. Dwight, oh, he about him, he began kissing him before bringing out another man who was dressed in drag. That's when Stephen said he tried to leave, but Dwight literally had him by the B word, by his area down there, allegedly, because his big NBA hands was gripping his scrotum. Stephen said he was forced to participate, but Dwight denies the claims and said while he was freaky with Stephen, he never forced anything. And once the entire case thrown out, we knew Dwight was in the closet, but we didn't know the closet was dirty. That was on the neighborhood talk. Now, first of all, I want to say this is freaky. I said last night, I don't believe that, but I have a change of heart. Okay. I believe Dwight did not. I believe Dwight was holding that man holding him hostage. I believe it. I believe that Dwight did not want that guy to leave. He wanted to get it in. His hormones got the best of him. And when you look at the great leaders, you know their hormones get them. We see kings have failed. Some of our civil rights leaders They were good on the mic, but they lived disgusting lives, cheating on their wives. And I can go on and on and on, but I'm not going to talk about some of our leaders, but they had a dream and they said he actually did some things with a man. But I'm not going to get into that. They even say Malcolm X even got it in with a man. I mean, I read Malcolm X's book. Another book an author wrote about Malcolm X, and he said that he had a male lover. And then right before the book dropped, the man was gone. He passed. He passed away, the author of that book. So I'm not shocked that Dwight is this way, but the gag is he's a tall bottom. That's the gag. The gag is he taking it up the bread basket. Because, you know, a lot of people be like, well, he a whole top. He go, no, most DL dudes are bottoms. They're not tops because they top women. They don't want to keep topping men. They want to feel that pressure on their backside. A lot of DL guys are really, really submissive. They want to be dominated. And I can go on and on. I know some gospel singers. I can go on and on and on. But they want to be dominated. And it's almost like they're extra. When I say extra freaky, they're extra freaky. Like a DL man will be in a DM like, hey, Wiley, when you going to come and ram me up or plunge, you like go and savage my bread basket. Like they're very aggressive. Like down low bottoms, when I tell you aggressive, like they be ready. They be ready for it because they have to pretend with their wife. They have to pretend with their girlfriend. They got to pretend to be, so they want to be dominated. So if I could just go on my text message and show the guys that I've been with, especially I'm in my back at home in Chicago, oh my gosh, like the things I have been doing with DO, man, it's shocking. It's like scary almost like a book. But I just feel like they're very aggressive. Very. So this man doing this, I'm not shocked at all. I'm actually like, okay, player. You out the closet. Now, if you would just came out, been yourself, stop hiding, you wouldn't have to go through none of this trap. Now you about to have to pay that man a couple of $1 million because the damage is done. Because his story is picking up legs. It's not just Wiley talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. The reason why I'm discussing this because, hey, it's a story. I'm going to discuss it. I get the least amount of views because most women don't care about DL man unless it's their husband. I'm talking about this because I'm interested. I'm like, ooh. But most women, they don't care nothing about Dwight. He not a current NBA. That ain't no Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? Like if this was Steph Curry or LeBron James, the views would be out this world. Like everybody know Dwight Howard. Everybody was like, okay, girl, we been on your team. Like the people don't care because everybody been knowing for years. Now, if this was a story about Bishop T.D. Jakes and you know what I'm saying, Pastor Jamal Bryant, it would pick up more legs. The reason why this is not picking up as much traction because people don't care nothing about Dwight Howard. They been knew the man was on the DL. They been knew. They don't care. Most people in the chat, they ain't shocked because they have heard multiple rumors about this man. So many rumors. Like we heard these rumors before. We heard it every day. The man like his bear bath being tampered with. Is it right? You know what I'm saying? That's his business. I think that's a great experience. If it's great pleasure. You know what I'm saying? For the people that I've dominated, they have said that. But I just feel like, why did you have to put your son to bed? So you was getting your bread basket up with another man, your son was there. But I have done that. Like literally, I was intimate with this preacher, right? His son bedroom was like maybe about 5-6 feet away from like his father room. And he was asleep. And we was in the living room, this at his father's house. We was in the living room and we was watching like church videos. Like we was watching him preach, right? Oh, okay. And then he switched from the church videos to the adult entertainment videos. I'm like, oh. And then my friend, Mr. Brian Radcliffe, he was getting intimate with his man. And then I was sitting beside Brian Radcliffe, his man, and I wanted to get in there with Brian Radcliffe, but I didn't want to get in there with his father. But I said, whatever. Like, I'm young, drinks are being poured, like I'm getting drinks. I mean, smoking. I'm like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. Okay. So he was like, you have to sleep. You can sleep in my room. I was like, okay, cool. Now, mind you, I can I can remember like it was yesterday. I'm seeing pictures of his wife, pictures of him, his pastoral anniversary, like pictures of his wife singing, like invitations, like you can tell, like. So I go into the room and we getting it in the room, and I can smell like his wife perfume. And it didn't care. And the stuff that I said, I'm not proud of the things that I said in that bedroom, but I said some things I'm not proud of that I actually said. I'm not going to repeat what I said. Maybe one day I repeat it, but I'm not going to repeat it now because a lot of women will hate what I said. But he is like, down low man exists. He said, don't tell nobody. This is what I do. Keep this between us, right? I was like, cool. I ain't going to tell nobody. Well, whatever. And for a long time, I didn't share with nobody. I was afraid to share with someone because this was a whole preacher. This was a whole pastor. Like, how can I not? Like, and I've always like attract like down low people in the gospel industry. Then I ran into like a gospel artist, and we went to like a whole party, adult entertainment party, and it was in our apartment. And it was in our apartment, and I'm thinking, okay, a party. I'm like, okay, whatever. And we went up to the door, and he was like, well, you got to take your clothes off. And I'm like, oh, it's one of these parties. And mind you, I'm 18, 19, 20. I'm young, skinny, tall, just curious. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm just seeing all these gospel artists. Now, mind you, it's like a gospel concert that I was attended. And then he was like, we going to after spot. Now I'm thinking like after spot, like it's gonna be after the gospel spot, like they're gonna be singing gospel song after spot. I'm naive to the point. And then the language, I'm like, okay, where we at? I'm kind of like saying, I'm like, oh, and I start seeing like producers and all. I start seeing the type of in the Chicago area, and it's quite weird. And I never look at them guys to say, even I see some of them like performing across the country, I look at them different. And then I'm looking at the drummers, like it's a whole industry. And I will never forget, I was at the Icon Theater and I was sitting beside this person. I had a huge crush on this gospel artist. And he said something to me. He said, Wiley, because I wanted to get it in the movie theater because it was just us in the movie theater. He was attractive. I'm just shooting, And he was like, we can't do it here. Like, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta cool out. Because all I got is my name. All I got is my name. I'm like, what you mean? Because all I got is my name. We can't do that. Because you'll mess up, my money. This is how I make money. And the church is not with that. So, and I was like, so it's like, well, it's so, and I started asking questions because again, I was still like beginning stage of doing shows and stuff like that. And so I asked him a question. I was like, well, who all in it? And he was just naming people, like the drummers, like producers, just like naming all these people. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And I started going to some of that stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you are the booty bandit. Like I started seeing the people when they were doing it. And it was nerve, like choir directors. Like I got it in. I've done some things. And I'm not going to out anybody because that's their story to tell. But I was just a part of that. I did that. And I'm like, I'm not proud that I did it. But I just want women to understand, like, y'all husbands been out there giving out that sloppy toppy. You know what I'm saying? So seeing Dwight Howard in this situation is crazy. Like, I've never tried to prevent somebody to leave. Like, if you want to leave, leave. I'm not going to keep you there because there's plenty dudes that will be down. Do you hear me? So for me, I think Dwight, and this is going to mess you up, brother. If it's more cases, then it's going to mess you up. Where there's smoke is fire. Like, bruh, you tall. It's somebody else you can do all that with them. If that guy wanted to leave, let him leave. You get somebody else. You could have called me. I would have did all that and would have just stayed in the room and deal with the guy with the drag. I've dealt with people that was beginning transition, didn't transition right. They were still manly features they were still a man. They just had on a wig. So I've done a lot of stuff. So I don't discriminate. I've done it. I've done it on couches. I've done it on air mattress. I've done it on futon mattresses. I would never. I've got it in. Like I've done it. I've been there, done that. I've done a lot. I've calmed down a whole lot. But the old Wiley, back when I was on the east side of Chicago and the South Shore area, living on Jeffrey, baby, we got it in. Me, Tank was doing what he was doing, and then I was taking his scraps. You know what I'm saying? And then he was so booked and busy. Sometimes they have to wait in the living room, and then I shoot my shot and I get it in. So I just like, man, it's just, man, I just bring back so many memories. Why was I thinking about that? La Maria said, "It is what it is, Wiley. Can't nobody judge you." But this is the Dwight Howard, so it's bringing back some memories. Like I've never. Now I will tell you this. I remember I was smoking. I was smoking some bud, and I was paranoid. Let me make sure I don't name drop nobody. Let me drink some coffee because I have a tendency of slipping people names out of my mouth. Hold on. I was smoking. This is my first time smoking bud in my life. My first time smoking the ganja, smoking that good. My first time ever smoking, or my first time getting high off of that. So I was on the app. I believe it was like BGC. It had to be BGC because Jack went out then. And I went to Dude House. I got the stuff, and we was in the apartment. We was smoking. And then we was smoking. I'm like, all right, man, this stuff don't work. But weed don't work. I thought y'all fake it. And then that high hit me. And I thought I was hitting notes. I was singing, hitting all them notes. And then the love making was so incredible. It was such a rush. It was so incredible. And I got paranoid. I was like, oh, man, it's going to be about two people going to come out that closet and they going to just dominate me. Like that was in the back of my head. I was so paranoid. So this is kind of like bringing back a trigger. And then after I got to the paranoid, it was the best ever. Like the best ever. I cannot remember dude's name, but I just remember like his apartment, like the whole layout. Oh, yes, I can remember his name. I don't want to say his name because he's a big social media influencer. So I got to be careful the names that I share because my platform have legs now. But we was getting it in. It was amazing. Like I didn't want it to end. It was just everything. The love making. It was like everything. And that's when I was able to really just have a good time. Like I just remember that, but never like kidnapped and held somebody hostage. Never done that. You all, anytime we gonna do some stuff, I always make it clear. Like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. If you're not in your headspace, I'm gonna make sure you get home. First of all, you ain't gonna be like that in front of me at all, anyway. Because we gonna get it in. Because first of all, we gonna be messed up. We gonna be messed up together. But never to the point where you can't leave. Never that. Now, this happened to Dwight Howard. Maybe so could have happened. It seemed like it. Maybe I was getting it in. And so that's what I did. I'm not gonna be shamed. I got it in. It was amazing. It was amazing. Like it's good when you involved with a dude and another dude. It feels good. If it didn't feel good, people would not do it. I'm not doing it feels good because you with a guy and they know all your spots. I know the male body better than I know the female body. I can say that without a doubt. I have almost 20 years experience dealing with men. So with women, I'm not that experienced because I was too busy with me. I didn't have to think about a woman at that particular time. Like I didn't think about a woman at all because, but if Jonathan was like a female and if I moved in with a female, it would have been totally different. I would have been screwing, blah, blah, blah. It would have been totally different. But because of what I was introduced to at an early age, I just kept duplicating that. Now being with females it's a different ballgame. Females are more emotional. They got to have the vibe. Like, man, if you got it up, you hard, I'm hard, let's get it in. Let's have a hard session. But women, it's different. Like women, they got the mind, got to be the vibe, got to be right mentally. So like you got to go through all that mental stuff. With men, blah. If it ain't hard, to be hard with men. Yeah. So, I'm just sharing. I don't know why I'm sharing that with y'all, but I'm just sharing that with y'all. They say it is what it is, Wiley. Nobody can judge you. But I just have to say this. I know people will judge me, Love Maria, because I share my story. And I don't mind sharing my story. And I've done some things. And I cleaned up a lot. And I thank God that I'm not out here on my, you know what I'm saying, with things that a shot can't take away. I thank God. That was only God's mercy, his grace. You know, I could have been one of the statistics that have to take medicine for something I did for the rest of my life. I thank God that did not happen to me. And so that's why I'm glad I calmed down a whole lot. I calmed down because I was very reckless. I didn't care. I lived a very reckless life. I was, do you hear me? Very reckless life. Very reckless life. And I'm glad that I'm not all the way totally there, but nowhere near like I was in my 20s. It was a decade. And then when I was that manic, Wiley, oh man, it had to be about 40 or 50, man. Within 2 days, I was intimate. Like I went through the app. Like I was getting it in. It was a lot of men back and forth. It was like a revolving door. I didn't even shower. Okay, it was like a revolving door. It was like, this is when I knew like bipolar. Like now, as I research, I knew it was real because it was like an urge era, and it was like, whoa. I was like, every day, man, just coming. And then one will be coming on one side of the stairs, another will be coming on the other side of the stairs. I was just having rotation. It was coming back and forth. And that time I had a 6-pack because I wasn't eating. I was slim. But one thing I were doing, I was getting it in. I was all day. And I just, how many male levels probably have I slept with? Ooh, probably 200. Because I've done probably more than 200. I can't count. I can't remember because it was a lot. Because you have to go to when I was in 8th grade, when I was on the party line, dealing with men. And once I became an adult, dealing with men, I lived a very wild life. And I never shared the wild life. I was very into the lifestyle very early. And I suppressed those thoughts because people was like, oh, you're a victim because they were grown and you were a child. I didn't ever think of that as being a victim. I never thought of that. I never thought of that until I became on YouTube. So I was with a lot of men on the party line, and it was a lot of the thugs, people in it, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of it. I was very into the lifestyle very early. And it was a lot of dudes that I've dealt with. I can't think of the name because of my Chicago, the Indiana, and my Texas days. In the Texas, that was like a whole nother that was like a whole nother floodgate. So I'm kind of glad that I calmed down a lot. I calmed down a whole lot. I'm not as wild like I used to be. I was wild. It was a futon mattress. And when I tell you we got it in on that futon mattress, I've went through so many air mattresses that had that hole would burst in the air mattress. So many other air mattresses so many holes in air mattresses. I was very young. Yeah. I did that. I was wild. And so, and seeing somebody like Dwight Howard, oh my gosh, I would lose my mind. Like if Brian Radcliffe will ever have his pictures, like if anybody can go and find a picture, because he deleted social media because I kept name dropping him. He was gorgeous, had a body. He was in the military. This was on Facebook, and he reached out to me on Facebook. Well, I reached out to him on Facebook, and he said, "You want me?" And I said, "Yes." And I was living with my grandmother, and he came back to the States, and he picked me up from choir rehearsal, and it was on and popping. And I didn't know at that time. I thought I was going to be about him, but I was so submissive. And I understand when women are demonetized, you get that demonetized. I know when women that way because I was, baby. The side just had me. It had my mind, and I would go to his church services. Now, mind you, his church, I'm not going to say the address of the church, but the church is on the west side of Chicago. And mind you, I lived in Inglewood. So I would take about 2 trains and a bus to go to his services just so he could take me home. I didn't care if he wanted to screw his new man. And then his new man, because he was in love with, Brian was in love with this new guy. So I said, okay, I'm going to go to the new man and with his man. And so he started screwing me in his apartment. So I was wild. I really was. I was very wild. Came about. And I thought I was in love. I didn't know the meaning of lust and love. I just said, it's have to be love. But once I've gotten older, I said, oh my gosh, this is lust. This is not love. And once I've gotten older and I was able to mature and be detached from Bryant, and I saw he fell on hard times, he didn't have the body no more. And then when I opened up my eyes, I was like, man, I told him, he started laughing. I said, my sausage is bigger than your sausage. And he's like, where? I was like, yeah. It's like, but still to this day, like if I see him, I still get a little rush inside of me, but it's not like the little 20-some-year-old Wiley rush anymore. I'm totally different. But yeah, I was into it. Yeah. I would do it. I did it all in Jonathan bed. And Jonathan, he would come on his sheets. He said, clean my sheets, B, clean my sheets. And so I have to go to the laundromat on 77 and Jeffrey. If you go to that block, it's a laundromat right across the street, and it's a Chinese restaurant. It's still there to this day. So I had to go across the street, put the stuff in the garbage bag, go wash the sheets, go and dry the blankets and sheets, because we would get it in. We got it in. This was for Ring cameras and cameras. See, Theo was smarter. So I couldn't go in his room when I moved to Texas because he had cameras all in his room. But this before the Ring camera was invented. So yeah, man, I was getting it in. I was. And I'm not afraid to tell people that I did it. I did it. I was a hoe. You know, I was doing it. And I was getting it in. I did it. I'm not proud of it. A little bit I am. No, a little bit I am. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it was my part of my story. So now when I see like my nieces and nephews like coming up, I always try to tell my sister and my siblings, like, make sure you watch your children. Be careful, you know what I'm saying, and talk to your children, communicate to them. You know, because now this generation is so well advanced than my generation was. So talk with especially your girls and your boys too. Like, she don't have any boys, but she have a number of daughters. But talk to your daughters, communicate with your daughters, you know, and know what's going on with your children. Understand them. You can tell. Like, I can tell something's going on by your behavior, because children do show signs. So talk with your children and stuff like that, because it is a dark world out there. And so I was just reading Jada Pinkett Smith's book, and she was talking about some experience. I'm like, people need to know. Talk to your children. Like, you need to know what's going on, because I shouldn't have been getting involved with grown men at the age when I was in elementary school. I'm sorry. I was at Perkin-Bass Elementary School. I was in 8th grade. And the man asked, he said, what grade you in? I told him, I'm in 8th grade. He didn't say, oh, wow, Wiley, you in 8th grade? Oh my gosh, I can't do this. This is a crime. We continued to do what we did. We went to the basement because my grandmother had a basement apartment. She was at church. I didn't want to go to church. I think I pretend like I was sick or whatever. We was getting in that basement. Grown men. Then it got to the threesomes. Like, these were grown men. Man. Then when I would see them in the neighborhood on the block, they throwing up the signs, you know, they was in that street life, and them the type of guys that I like. I like the street dudes. I love the street dudes. It was a fantasy. Like, it was a fantasy. Like, I will never forget. It was like this one guy. He had his weapon or whatever, and he like put it on my grandmother's table, and he poured down. I'm not gonna get graphic. I'm not gonna go into all these stories. Like, he poured down whatever, And then I just got into, he's like, you already know what you got to do. I was like, yes, I know what I got to do. So I was very submissive. And that was wrong because I'm talking about it, but that I was violated. I was violated. That's crazy. When I think about that, wow, that is tripped out. I was really violated I never really like look at it like that. I was violated. Wow. This one by no family member. No, this was like outside sources. Like I was, and shout out to Jamie. I love my friend Jamie. We went to Perkin Bass Elementary School together. His name was Jamie. His first name. What's Jamie last name? What's Jamie last name? Let me see if I can find Jamie last name. Hold on one second. Shout out to I want to oh yeah. Jamie Morgan. Shout out to Jamie Morgan. That brother, I never knew he was in the lifestyle. I've never, like, Jamie was like my best friend. Jamie Morgan was like my best friend. We went to Perkin Bass Elementary School. I had a crush on his stepsister. Her name was Samantha or whatever. And then, Jamie and I went to, and then he transferred schools, and I missed him. Like, what happened? So years later, we went to this party. I went to this party, this house party, and at this time, I'm in the lifestyle. Like, I'm Wiley from the Wiley Show. I'm the guy with the camera interviewing everybody, right? And so I'm interviewing people, and I bump into Jamie. I said, Jamie Morgan? It was like, yeah, Marquise. I was like, wow. I said, you're gay. He said, yeah. It's like, I didn't know. And I was like, because I haven't seen this man in years, but I knew that face. I knew, of course, he was older, but I knew who he was. I knew him, and I missed him. I'm like, wow. And I never knew that he was gay because he had all the ladies, when he was in elementary school. But then when I went back, I went back. So in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, I can see the signs of him being quote unquote feminine. And he would write the date, the day of the week, and he would put like a circle, he would put like a cloud, like a girly type stuff. That was like, okay, it makes sense. But it's just something, man. I just ran into him, and then meeting Jamie, it was like amazing. Like, I've never looked at him like want to get in there, but he introduced me to the party line. And at that time, I was extra feminine. I was really feminine in my earlier years, and everybody said, "Oh, you sound like your mother. You sound like," and I used that to my advantage. So I would get on, and I would disguise my voice as a woman, and I would get all of these men in my grandma's house. I would disguise myself as a woman. They knew I wasn't. It was a fantasy, and it was a rush. Like, it was I could have been kidnapped. It's like, it's so much stuff I could just get in on and on. And I could have been literally kidnapped. I would never get. This was God's grace. I was on the app, not the app. I'm sorry, the party line. Called the number, and the white guy, he said, "Meet me at the McDonald's on 63rd in Ashland." Anybody know anything about Chicago? It's a McDonald's still there to this day. That's in the middle of the night. The McDonald's closed. Everything is closed. And I sneak out of my grandmother's house, walk to the McDonald's, see in the parking lot. And some told me, do not get in this car. You're not going, your family won't see it. Go back home. So I didn't get in. And he was like, man, just come on, whatever. You're going to become, I'll bring you back. I didn't go. I didn't get in the car. I just went back home. And I was like, if I would have gotten in that car, I probably would not be here today. It was just a white guy. Like a middle-aged white guy, and he was in the parking lot or whatever, and I was getting in. State Street Ready used to work there. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, that McDonald's. That's a legendary McDonald's, baby. That's in the hood, but I never thought of the hood as the hood. You know what I'm saying? I've did a lot of crazy stuff. I did. But now look at me now. You know what I'm saying? I am, what is this on my, is that sugar? What is that? That better not be no, okay, that's the sugar from my coffee. Yes. But I did it. So I'm just giving y'all my experience. And so I'm thinking about Dwight Howard, kind of like triggering me, bringing back some memories. They say I used to work there years ago. Yeah, now that McDonald's, I don't know how it is now because I really don't go in the neighborhood. My mom, you better not go back in that neighborhood because I try to go back and show y'all where I come from. But my mama get, if she know I was over there, she will. You better not be over there. Get your. She don't want me to walk. Like in Texas, I walk and stuff like. You better not be out here walking. I don't trust these streets. You better get your Uber. And I like to walk. I'm like, Dad, Mama, can I? I am an adult. Can I walk to Walmart? Can I walk to the barbershop? Because like in Texas, I'm walking everywhere. I can't even walk. You better not be doing all that type of walking. You better get your Uber. You don't know this neighborhood like that, doing all that type of walk, you know. But, you know, it just brings back some memories. They said, get the money, Bougie Barbie. Hey, everybody, I'm at work, so I may not see you. Okay, Bougie Barbie, we here. It stay jumping at it stay jumping at them. It does. It stay jumping at the McDonald's. It does. I've got intimate with somebody in that McDonald's restroom. Everybody knew, like, nobody really messed with me because like my brothers they was in the street gangs, like they was in the lifestyle. Like they just knew, okay, he the choir director, he the church guy. You always gonna see me like in a church shirt, pants, or in a military uniform. Only time like the dudes that tell me, hey man, you going to Iraq, you going to Afghanistan, they gonna ship your black A to the army, because that's that's the only time they say like jokingly, right? I don't care. I just came in and I thank my grandmother. Like I will let y'all meet her one day. But it was because of her that standard. That's all I did. I put on my uniform and all of that. But when it came to like Dwight Howard, yes, I did my threesomes. Okay, let me tell you about my threesome. Okay. So y'all know I went to True Church of Holiness. My uncle is the pastor, Bishop Melvin Cartwright, on 57 Indiana. 5735 South Indiana. My uncle is still the pastor there. So my grandfather was Willie Elder. Willie was he was an elder. May he rest in peace. He was an elder in the church under H.E. Cohill. But I had a threesome across the street from the church. Okay. Now, I never probably shared this because it's bringing back memories. No, it wasn't a threesome that I did across the church. I was getting in with somebody and they on the steps of their front steps. In an apartment, you got the hallway, like a steps in the hall. I was getting in on the steps. Now, mind you, I can see the church members leaving church it was a Friday night. I'm seeing all the members. There ain't too many of the members there. No shade. So I'm seeing them get in their car or whatever. This time I went in the church. I'm getting in on the stairway with this dude. He's very attractive. He didn't have I guess he couldn't have company or whatever. I didn't care. I was there. I got there. I got on the green line on Garfield, walked down on the steps in the apartment, like not outside on the steps, but inside in the steps. And we was just getting in. So I remember, but I can remember my first threesome though, right up the street from the church or right around the corner from the church. So the guy invited me over for a threesome. I was nervous about this whole because this is my first time doing the threesome. I was nervous. We was playing a game, and this was like my first threesome. And I was gotta be about 18 or 19 because once I got 18, I just really got. So I'm in there. I'm nervous, and the other dude is there, and this is their boyfriend, right? That's a couple. And then we just started doing it. We started doing it, and I started getting in. Started doing it, and then his boyfriend wanted more of me, and then blah blah blah. We started doing them together. And the only reason I don't like the whole boyfriends inviting me in the thing because somebody gonna get jealous because I'm gonna try to outdo the next person. Like I gotta outdo you. Like I'm competing, and I've already know okay, but I'm gonna make sure. And so then a boyfriend would hit me up, and then I would get in mess because I would still do my show. Like I was really really messy, getting my show, and I would say different stuff. I was like, oh my gosh. He was like, you should come over, and I would go over, and other gays in the neighborhood. Oh, Wiley was over there. I saw Wiley because you know who I am. I'm tall. I'm always got my book bag or something. So it was just messy. Then the other boyfriend wanted it. Then blah, blah, blah. It was just a mess. Like, I don't like doing couples thing because somebody feelings going to get involved. But that was like my first threesome, and it was amazing. I was nervous at first because I'm like, this is like, I'm nervous. But I did it, you know? And they said, the useful Wiley. But this is like triggering me with this Dwight Howard stuff. Again, I don't agree with the whole keeping the people hostage. You can't leave. No. Now, it was another threesome I did. These were the two Africans. And so we was doing the threesome. Now, me and Africa, we was doing it. And he wanted to invite one of his friends over. And I just wasn't into it because he was, it was just too much for me. Like, it was just too wild. It was just too, I just didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, He said, please stay. I'm like, no, really. And I was able to put on my clothes, whatever. They didn't lock the door or told me he couldn't go, but it was a lot. And, but then like the next day I did it. I did the threesome with him the next day. I was just nervous the first time because it was shocking. I'm like, whoa, what is this? It's like a setup. We're like, what? And the next day we did it. It was amazing. And I think we kind of like sat down and ate Jello rice. I think he cooked some rice. Is it Jello rice? Something rice. I think he said, I'm trying to say it right. I think I call it. Did you say Jello rice? He was made after we got to school because I was hungry. All that weed and smoking, baby, I'm hungry. So then he started cooking some rice. And I ate it, and it was great. That was my first time eating Jello rice. I think I'm saying it right. I'm sorry to my African audience if I'm saying it wrong. But we was eating that. That was after we did everything because I'm high and I got the munchies. Still to this day, if I'm smoking, like I got to eat. That's why I don't try to smoke because I'm going to eat. Okay, and yeah, I go on and on. I don't know what they call it, but I did that. So I did a lot of stuff though. It's a lot of stuff. And half of the story have not been told. Hey, Joe rice, not jelly rice. I don't know what it was. It was good though. It was good. He got a nice body. To this day, that is still my weakness. Like if you got a body, if you got that's to me, anybody know the type of dudes that I like, you see them on my Instagram. Just watch my Instagram story. If you really want to know the type of guys, the attractive guy, you know the guy. Y'all have seen the guys I've around. I always get attractive guys around me because I know how to stroke that ego. It's all about the ego game. I'm attractive, I'm confident, and I know how to stroke ego. I know I find, and I will research you, and I'm gonna be real with you. Let me say this in my club. I'm talking. This is about Dwight Howard, but I'm putting myself in it. Again, I ain't with the kidnapping stuff, but it was one particular guy I wanted, right? And it was the infamous video in Dallas of me getting whooped, right? And so I really wanted to be with him. And so it's a video on YouTube. If you type in Wiley get beat up, I want to give y'all the backstory of that video. Can I give y'all the backstory of the video? So that was Jonathan Friend. I wanted him so bad. So I said, okay. I wanted him. He wanted Jonathan. I was like, okay, all right, Jonathan, you can have him too, but I want him too. Like, I don't care. But me and him got into it, and I'm trying to show off in front of Jonathan. And one thing about me, if I hear something about you, I'm a Scorpio, I'm going to use that. So I said, whatever. You used to be a fat A word. You fat A word. You got all that extra force. I was going in on him. So he started kicking me and punching me and stuff like that. And I'm laughing. I'm like, oh. But I'm getting turned on because I thought like, okay. And then we go in the apartment because the video cut off. We go in the apartment. I was like, okay, let's just screw right now because I'm ready. He said, I'm not about to screw, whatever. F you. I ain't gonna never screw you. I probably give you your mouth is reckless, whatever. And he slammed the door, whatever. I said, okay. So I instantly went to my computer, went to work. I found out what he liked. And I just found out what I studied him to the T. He worked at the Kroger's up the street. I went to the Kroger's. I kept talking. Hey man, how you doing? Just started laughing, give him the comedian Wiley, open him up. And then one day I had my moment. You know what I'm saying? It was chill. The candles was lit. It was like a cool vibe. And he was a huge Lil' Kim fan. So I used that to my benefit. She just came out with her mixtape, and I used that to my benefit. Like she came up, she had a mixtape or whatever. So I started quoting Lil Kim, Googling Lil Kim. I was a Lil Kim historian. And I remember when I was smoking with one of my guys or whatever, and he played this song that Lil Kim wrote about Biggie demise with featuring Mary J. Blige, Hold On. And so I played that. He said, man, I like that, because I remember him start quoting that song. And so I said, man, I like the song. Man, how did you know that? I like the song too. So I'm like, boom, boom, boom. And then next thing you know, we was getting it in. I said, oh my God, I was so happy. Because I said, I'm going to study him because I really want him. Oh, look at that B. Did you see that B? I'm out in the country. So I really wanted him so bad. So, and we got him. It was amazing. And to this day, we still, from time to time, still get it in whenever he's in the area. But I just did my research. I will study. If I want something bad enough, I will study to how can I get it. They said I was, you want to call it stalking, quiet storm? I'm going to call it researching. I knew his schedule. I knew he got off, and I pretend like I'm running. And then I have like look him like blast on the phone. It's kind of weird now, but it ain't weird because I got what I wanted. They said getting on with the same man. That's right. Yes, I still, because I was turned on by it. I was turned on. Like I felt the tension. And he told me don't tell Jonathan. And then as soon as he left, he left. And I told Jonathan actually, Jonathan heard everything that was going on. They said no one, Michael did not have a male lover. So that's me. They said, yeah. Any other questions? They said, Wiley, was you stalking him? And I wasn't stalking him, man. I was researching him, man. You said I was stalking him. I was researching him. We need to do a reaction to the video of you getting beat up. Yeah. And they used that to my advantage. Like, I really got what it was me laughing. I'm turned on. I'm really turned on by it. I'm really was turned on by it. But anyway, that's just me. It was a good experience, though. I had some way. And Jonathan, mind you, this is when I knew I was getting like buzz on the internet. Because Jonathan post that happened like years ago, right? And then somebody downloaded a snippet off of a Jonathan page, and then they posted to YouTube. But that been happened. I'm like, this is like Jonathan. Like, why they post this? Been happened. Like, it's whatever. You already screwed the guys, whatever. But that's when I knew I started noticing like little celebrity status. They said I thought you would say no. That's when I was intimate with Patrice. I started listening to gospel music. That was the first female that I screwed. I met her through True Church. She was a member of the church. She was the oldest woman in the church. She was thick or whatever. And then she was in college at that time. So I started talking about school and started helping her in school or whatever. And then we started developing feelings. I wanted to smash. Everybody smashed her. I wanted to lose my virginity because everybody lost theirs. I'm like late to the party, especially when it comes to women. So we did it. And then we started listening to gospel music. I was nervous. I started listening to gospel music. I didn't know what to do with women. I just didn't know what to do. They said, Joyce, what would Jesus do? Yeah, he wouldn't have did it. He would have flee fornication. I fleed into it. So yeah. I'm just hey y'all. Like the video and subscribe. But I just had to talk to y'all. You know, I don't want to make this too long because after this, I'm gonna take me a hot shower and go to bed. I was traveling. Came here to see my grandmother. Looking for some apartments, looking at a townhouse and stuff. I love my grandmother. My grandma said, you always gonna come over here and see. You always traveling to see me. I said, absolutely, grandma. I love you. I love my grandmother. I love my mother. I love my family. You know what I'm saying? It's like with time, you are not sure what to do when you first start to get it in. Yeah, it's awkward. I love it. So I'm getting a swag with females now. It's a swag now. I'm getting this why they said, "Wow, it's almost 4 p.m. Why are you going in early?" Because I gotta rest. I'm tired. I am tired. I'm gonna do my airport story time like later on tomorrow when I'm rested. But members, y'all remind me to say it. Yeah, we back in Chicago. Hey, Lala. And I do want to thank y'all so very much. I got an A on my first week. So I got to do tomorrow, my second week. So it is what it is. We got to finish it. But I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love home. I love it. I just love my family, man. I love my family. I love my ugly family members. I love them too. I went to some of my ugly cousins. I said, I love you ugly people. I love y'all. You love me good. I got a cousin that's all like, you love me good. I said, I love you. I love you. Now get that Drew off you. You know you ugly. So I love even of my ugly cousins. You know what I'm saying? I love them too. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't lie in my family. If you ugly, we say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they talk about, like, all the eye joke they say to my family. They been talking about the eye, about sloop leg, sloop foot leg, dead leg. Like, we drag each other. Like, that ain't nothing new I'm hearing on the internet. So we go in. We go in. If your baby ugly, we will say it. We don't play those games. We will talk about that ugly baby right in front of, oh, you just a little ugly little child. It was one of our family. I'm glad that DNA test said he wanted, because that baby was too ugly. I said, man, that ain't your baby. And the baby mama got mad at me, like, what you mean that ain't his baby? Because it says too ugly. I mean, you ain't, my brother is, he's not ugly. Like, this is an ugly baby. This can't be it. It ain't it. I said, you better take it in, and it wasn't it. I said, I told you that baby was too ugly. And it wasn't my fault. You ain't gonna talk to my baby like that. I said, B, you ugly too, and take your ugly, stinking baby out of here, because the DNA test said he ain't the father. Oh, I don't play. Like, this mouth is reckless. And it was ugly. And I said what I said. So all that stuff I said on the internet is mild about what I say privately. It is. It's very mild. It is what it is. It is what it is. So whatever. If you don't like it, just bye. It ain't gonna stop you, because this is the real world. We don't live in this false candy land. You bet. Like, don't play with me. Y'all get on the internet. Y'all be acting like, oh, we don't do that. Girl, bye. Have several seats. They say I'm great. I have no complaints. I love that. Crystals, laughing emojis. I love that. Ain't it? I love that. Wait a minute. Somebody else is texting me. Yes. Okay. Because I love, like, Chicago. Like, because people don't be knowing. Like, I don't be wild. Like, that's one thing about it. I be on my P's and Q's, because they don't know. Like, they be surprised. Like, you in Chicago? What? Let's link up. Nope. Because I know me. Be kind by your words have power when somebody else. I understand. I get that, Just Jenny. Mm-hmm. Okay. I get that. You know, Just Jenny gonna come in here. Be careful. Your word got power. Oh, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But that go out the window when you see something ugly. I'm sorry. And women, y'all don't. Okay. Hey, y'all. Okay, y'all want me to be that? I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. But Dwight Howard, just pay the man the money. Pay him the money. Pay him the money. Okay? Okay? Pay him the money. Why y'all don't call kids ugly, be nice. Oh, I understand that. But Jacqueline, that's you. And me and you are totally two different people. And I respect that. That's you. You know what I'm saying? You probably grew up in a thing. You know what I'm saying? Well, you didn't do that. I grew up in the hood, the gutter. That's what I grew up in. So my way of thinking is totally different. You know what I'm saying? It's totally different. So it's totally different. Anyway, thank you all so very much for tuning in. This was a good show. Now we'll be back live tomorrow. Now wait a minute. Oh, dang, I picked up a shift. Hold on, y'all. We'll try to be live tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna be live tomorrow. I don't know what we're gonna talk about though. I think I done caught up and talked about everything. Daggle and Crystal, I see y'all in here. Any other questions for me? Awesome. Any questions for me, y'all? The floor is open. Any questions for me? Any questions? Any questions? The floor is open. They said, Wiley, they say you got some celebrity DMs you're waiting to expose. I have some stuff, but I move in different times. They said the new nominee for the Speaker of the House. Child. This is some crazy crap. Like the Republicans, like, bruh, what y'all doing? Republicans it just make me laugh. For me, I don't care what they do now because this is all theater. They were trying to make Biden look bad, but it could backfire on the Republicans because let me say this really quickly. The Republicans got a slim majority because they picked up some seats in New York. But the thing about them seats they picked up in New York, they're mostly liberal, and they only won that district by a slim majority, by a slim margin. So if they keep watching this, right, and they ain't got their stuff together, they're gonna vote Democrat. Because them people in New York see chaos, y'all ain't got it together. And it's a good message in 2024 if Democrats do well with just a good soundbite. The crazy 8, I like that. Dysfunction 8. The Republicans, this is a disarray. They have no order in the House. How can they govern when they can't even pick their leader? They got to make it plain. You know what I mean? They got to make it plain. They said, right, this is theater. It's just theater. It's fun. It's good. It's fun. Do I feel bad for some people that depend on government services? I do feel bad. I was invited to a Zoom meeting for Congressman Bobby. Wait a minute. Not Congressman Bobby Rush. Hold on. I said it wrong. Give me a second. What was that congressman that I was in? Give me a second. I just said the wrong congressman. No. Congressman Zoom. Oh, Congressman Danny Davis. So we was in a Zoom meeting, right? So I got in the Zoom meeting. Baby, wait. So we was in the Zoom meeting for Congressman Danny Davis. And, he represent some parts of Chicago, right? And some parts of the suburb. So I'm in the Zoom meeting. So they asked him questions about the migrants. And they asked him questions, right, about the migrants, about Israel. And they kept saying in the chat very professionally, can the congressman answer the question direct instead of talking in circles questions? Like these Congress people, you can ask them a very direct question and they'll give you a whole history lesson, but they ain't answering the question. And then Danny Davis, well, you know what's going on in Israel with the people and all that type of stuff, and the American government and everything, because in the scripture and the Bible, but he ain't answering the question. I'm like, y'all politicians could do good by dodging a question. Like they are pro, especially when you've been in the office as long as Danny Davis. Congressman Danny Davis, the Honorable Congressman Danny Davis, he's been in office as long as I've been on Earth almost. He was dodging them questions. He was, and it was packed in that Zoom. Like people is rising up. They said not sure my comments been deleted. No, you said, did you see my email? Dream, you sent me an email. And a lot of times y'all don't be sending me emails with y'all username, but I did see some emails today. I did see some email. I don't know if it was from you, but I did check some emails this morning. Okay. All right. So we got a question by Just Jenny here. They said, what is the best dish, okay, to cook while on your diet? Well, number one, I love baked chicken. And so I added a vegetable, and that was broccoli, but broccoli was messing me up. Like I was really going through with the broccoli. So now I had a rotisserie chicken today. Didn't have no vegetables. So now what I'm going to start eating is collard greens without the smoked meat, and I just use the baked chicken as for the meat for the collard greens. That's gonna be like a vegetable to do, and cabbages. I love cabbages. So and Monica, if she watches, she's gonna be like, "What? That ain't good." But those are the type of stuff I like. Cauliflower, I love. You know, I'm a baked chicken person. I love chicken, and I drink water every day, and I drink a cup of coffee. Yeah, every day. Somebody said, they said Dwight been out here. Yeah, he been out here. Absolutely. They said he got boyfriends and stuff. Absolutely. And every once in a while, and since I see this here, I don't know if I believe this is mine. I think I left it last time I was here. But if not, I permit it. I love these things. I don't drink this every day, but if I want something sweet, I drink this every once in a while. Woo! This, ooh, this strawberry banana. I'm sorry. I just every once in a while. Every once in a while, I drink that. What? You said Wiley. Who is British Wims? Okay. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. You got boyfriends and stuff. I love this. Like if it's cold, I don't like it when it's lukewarm. Can I drink it when it's lukewarm? You put that in the freezer and let it melt. Oh, basketball wise, I don't watch that show, but did she do fraud? She deserved to be in there. Crazy. Anything else y'all want to know? But I'll be back tomorrow. You know, I'm talking chit chatting with y'all. I'll be back tomorrow chit chatting with y'all. But Wiley got to rest. I need to rest. I'm gonna take me a hot shower. I'm about to finish reading Jada Pinkett Smith book, listening to that, and I'm about to just rest because I got a long day tomorrow. Long day tomorrow, and I thank y'all so very much today. Where I can chit chat with y'all. There's plenty content I put out. Go watch it. We need a video on British. Okay, I will do my research on that. Let me write that on my list. And y'all will get that tomorrow. But today, I'm going to sleep. I don't mean no harm. I going to bed. But tomorrow, I talk about this tomorrow. One thing about this internet stuff in my clothes, maybe you got to know when to turn it off. Because I used to try to cover every store and it was burning me out. Like now, I need to like rest so I could be refreshed for tomorrow. I got me a haircut. My barber was able to get me in today. I was able to do that, but I felt good like sitting in a chair and I wanted to just sleep because I was up. So I'm going to rest, be refreshed, and we'll be back tomorrow. I know I'm being dragged. We will be responding to Sean King. He did respond to us. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. We're going to be doing a video about Sean King tomorrow. We're going to do a video also about British Williams and probably about the Speaker of the House. We're going to do that tomorrow. And if you missed the live, you can catch the replay. Because I used to be like, well, let me wait till people get on the live. If you missed it, you can catch the replay. All right? So I just want to make sure. And I'm going to add on here that I did a story time. I mean, let me add that in the title now so people know. Like, what he up there talking? I did so much story time. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Okay. All right. So just in case. There we go. Get some rest, brother. I gotta get some rest, child. Oh, and I'm gonna add on the Airport Chronicles. Baby, that's gonna be a good one. Ebony said get some rest. Yes, Chris, I gotta get some rest, child. And yes, do y'all wanna we probably gonna do them on Tasha K till she relevant. That's it. We did that Tasha K moment. That was good yesterday. Now, for some more stuff come up, we'll talk about it. But I don't beat on a horse if it's jumping. My Blueface stuff, I'm still getting DMs about that. Thank you guys. Like we're growing. Thank you. I still got to binge watch Married to Madison. I still got to binge watch that. The previous season. And then we're going to be covering Married to Madison and Real Housewives of Potomac. We want to thank Monica from All About the Tea for writing about that. She's very thorough with her reporter, her team over there. A1, we're going to be covering those two shows because we want to make sure we cover the reality world. And also we got the Chasing Atlanta world. What's that dog? The reality world and everything. Okay. Yeah. And then also, I was supposed to do the Chasing Atlanta review. I got to work tomorrow. So that's probably going to be late. Or I'll probably do that the next day, the Chasing Atlanta review. And I just do that because I like talk about the show. I like helping my community. That's like my community service hour for my community. And that's it. So if anything else come up, Latavia, y'all can text me, Crystal, like my members, anybody, just send me an email. We could try to dive into it. But thank y'all so very much. I'm about to go enjoy my family. And I'm gonna enjoy them by going to sleep. I know I snore. They said, Dad, you be And I kind of like, I got to snore. I'm tired. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the donations. Don't forget my birthday, November 11th. We asked $1 per year. $1 per year by each subscriber to the Cash App and Zelle, please, because we get it directly instead of YouTube to get a cut. So make sure y'all Cash App, $ Marquise Wiley 28, Zelle WileyShow@gmail.com. That's November 11th. We are doing a live broadcast on YouTube, and I'm super excited for that. And I want y'all in the building for that. That's a once a year thing, and I'm spending my birthday with y'all. I'm not a big person, a big old birthday party in a club popping bottles. We're gonna pop all them bottles right on camera because again, I'm just not that type of guy. I've never been that type of guy, but I will do it with my audience, and we'll pop bottles and on the audience and all that. I do that for y'all. I never had champagne before. So I may pop over. I will be, if it be the Lord's will, I'll be 33 years old. And many people say, he ain't 33. Bruh, it's a whole library situation. I'm on the news. They tell you my age. Ding dong. Marquise Wiley, 26, 22. They tell you the age in the article. If you do simple math, hello. Like, these people are just crazy. He ain't 33. He in his 40s. Why would I lie about my age? I'm not a female. I don't lie about my age. I'm about to be 33. I was born November 11, 1990. November 11, 1990. I'm not going to sit here and lie about my age. Who lies about that? Well, a lot of females do it for their own reason. Their biological clock, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But I don't. I'm going to be 33. Amen. Talk to y'all soon. But we'll get more into that tomorrow. Little black boy, you're beautiful. Little black girl, you're enough. When times get hard, always remember to put God first.